Hey guys, so I wanted to tell you the differences I found between Costco photo books and Shutterfly photo books because they're a huge difference and it drove me nuts and I want to share it with you. So I'm going to go more thoroughly in Costco's because it's easier. So first of all, the pros of the Costco books. This is what I did, 12 by 12, and it's a premium lay flat, they call it. The pros to that are free shipping to the store, fast delivery, 5 to 7 days. You can get it at the store, so if you live in town, it's awesome. The biggest thing is the price. It includes 30 pages at $39.99, and each additional 2 pages is $1.99. Compared to Shutterfly, each additional 2 pages is $2.18, and their basic price only is 20 pages, and it's $65 base. So I know they always have coupons going, they always have sales, but they never can quite reach the price that Costco can get you. So it blows all other sites out of the water, no questions asked. The quality, I'm a basic nobody, I don't know anything about paper or quality, but this seems really quality to me. Like the pages are sturdy, and I have a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. I don't have any issue with them flipping through them. I mean, I wouldn't just hand it to them and let them do it themselves, but it's not going to tear. I also was worried about fingerprints on the pictures near the edge. It doesn't show at all, and it's shiny, glossy, really nice quality. And also the themes. I noticed Shutterfly has maybe 3 themes to choose from. All others, they charge you extra, so if you want more of a scrapbooking look, they're going to charge you for it, whereas Costco had at least 3 dozen options. You could have a baby shower theme, and they'll do all the backgrounds and clip arts or whatever, and those were all free. So if that's what you're looking for, that's great. I didn't use those. I just wanted, as you can see, plain white, and then I didn't use text or anything. Everything I had was just a white background with pictures. I just wanted it simple, and I thought that was really elegant and classy that way. Okay, so those are all the cons, all the pros of Costco. All the cons of Costco. The biggest issue I had was the layouts. When you're going to put it together, they have maybe a dozen layouts available for any number of pictures, like all to edit together. So it takes forever to put a layout together. So for instance, this was probably a layout I did of just 4 pictures. It was probably one that they had available. So when you go to click on 4 pictures plus to look at the different layouts, I bet they had maybe 6 options. Whereas I actually counted in Shutterfly yesterday, they had over 35 options. So it was a huge difference. It made it so much easier, so much more fun to have more layouts. And it took away a lot of the work that I would have to do. So I wound up having to do a lot of just like Mod Podge photos, like these ones. They're just kind of all thrown in there, and they're not, it's not bad to do that, but if I had something specific in mind, I could have made a layout, custom possible, but for the most part, I had to just like stick them in there wherever I could. Huge detriment to me. It took away all of the fun for me. It became a task. This is a gift, and so it became a task of I need to get this done to get that to her, instead of this is so much fun, I love playing with this system, which is what I experienced with Shutterfly. The size options. So I have some books here by comparison. So like I said, I wound up getting the 12 by 12. I did not want to buy a 12 by 12. To me, this is huge. This is unnatural to look at a book this big, and it's uncomfortable. You can't do it with one, you can't hold it with one hand. It's too much for me. I wanted the 10 by 10, and this is my son's book, that shows you it's more manageable. And I think for layouts, I think I could do the same for a 10 by 10 as I could for a 12 by 12. Because if you think, well, I can put more pictures in a 12 by 12, you end up getting too cluttered, your eyes don't know where to focus, it's just kind of like chaos everywhere. Whereas a 10 by 10, you can have the exact same layout, the faces aren't huge, if you only have 4 pictures on there, you're not looking at, somebody's eyes as big as yours are, kind of thing. And as you can see with a 10 by 10, it's more manageable, it's natural. And this is what I wanted, and Costco does not offer it, so I was really pissed off, but worth the price. So Shutterfly has tons and tons and tons of size options. Huge bonus. But the other thing that Costco had was, what do they call it? I don't know. They had 2 options. The premium lay flat 12 by 12 and the custom photo cover. And this is the book I had that fit that size. It's a rectangular and it's very uncomfortable. It's not an easy size. I don't like that my pages are longer than my binding. So even the weight distribution, I just don't like books like that. I like square books or tall books. I don't like wide books. And those were your two options. This was it for sizes at Costco. That's kind of their policy on all of their products. They give you a couple options and then you'll buy it anyway. Whereas Shutterfly, you could get any size you wanted, literally. Okay, the next thing was the ease of use. I touched on this a little bit, but for Costco cons, it was not easy to use. If I had a specific layout in mind, I could make it work, like I said. But specifically with Shutterfly, if I had a layout of 4 pages and I decided I wanted to switch 2 of the pictures, all I had to do was click one and then click the other. So for instance, here's a simple 6 pages. If I decided I wanted these 2 pictures switched, I just have to click one to the other, and in Shutterfly they switch them. In Costco, this would then replace this one. This one would get deleted to the bottom. You'd have to recreate a box to go here, pull your picture back up to place it here, and hope that it all lines up, because it did have a little bit of alignment parameters, but not many. It was really, really, really frustrating. So something like this might have been a layout option of theirs to do 6 on a full page. That's 1 page right there. But if you took this picture out and decided, oh, I don't actually like that one, they would delete the whole box. So you'd have to then manually create a 6th box to fit the parameters. Super annoying. And there's just so many little things. I mean, it's so much easier to use with Shutterfly. Picture editing, I didn't get much into it with Costco because it was not easy. It's like, if I really, really wanted to, I'm sure I could have done stuff. But it was really frustrating. It was just like, forget it, you know? And when I put it into price, it's like, I don't remember how much I calculated, but, you know, a picture like this, where I have, you know, only 5 pictures on a page, I figured it out to be per page costs so much, so each picture cost me so much money. It's like, if it wasn't that awesome of a picture, I would just delete it. I wouldn't even have it in my book. Whereas I never thought that with Shutterfly because it was just so easy. I just zoom, 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 zoom. Picture resizing kind of goes with editing. It's a pain in the neck. If all I wanted was a square version of a rectangular picture, it was a pain in the neck. So here's a rectangular picture. If all I wanted was this square, I don't remember exactly how I had to do it, but I had to go through several different ways to get exactly what I wanted. Super annoying. Shutterfly, all I had to do was move it around within the square option, boom, done, moving on. Very, very frustrating. I can't mention enough how frustrating it was to use Costco versus Shutterfly. But it is possible to get the same product if you're willing to save the money, which I was, so I still went with Costco. And the other thing is, when I did this book, I could have sworn that I just had all empty pages and then I just went and chose layouts or threw pictures on there. When I tried to find what theme I had chosen yesterday, I couldn't find a no theme option. So when I went to go make a new mock book to figure out what I was talking about, it already had all the layouts in there, which to me was just more work because it'd have, you know, a picture here and a picture here with a text box. But if that's not going to work with the pictures that I'm presenting, then that's just more work for me to delete all that and have to start over. Additionally, I noticed that some of the layouts that they provide ahead of time, specifically they had one with 9 square boxes per page, which I was looking for when I made mine. So they had one like that, but if you deleted that page because it wouldn't work with those certain pictures and you wanted it later on, they didn't have it in their layouts options. You'd go to your 4+ photos options and they wouldn't have the 9 squares even available, which I find very frustrating because they had it available in the beginning if you wanted to do a pre-done layout, but if you wanted to choose it on a different page, you couldn't do it. And I don't understand why they would set it up that way. Very, very, very frustrating. So to do 9 boxes of all equal size, you had to go in and do it manually and kind of just eyeball that they lined up well. Super, super long time, extremely frustrating. All could have been eliminated if they had it available as a layout. Also previewing. So I would set up a page and I go, I don't know if that's going to look good as a 12 by 12, you know, because a 12 by 12 is huge. So for instance, this picture, and both of these pictures are very large and a 12 by 12. So if I'm setting up, I'm like, I don't know how that's going to look, hit preview in Shutterfly, boom, there's your preview, makes it bigger, you get a good idea. With Costco, you hit preview and it goes right to the cover, and then you have to flip through to get to the page you were looking at, and it's just not easy. You should just have a preview option, boom, cancel preview, go back to work. That's what I would have liked to see from Costco. Okay, so there's tons of little ease of use things. I'm going to move on. The fourth con I have listed for Costco is confusing parts. So I already mentioned this was called a premium layflat. So when I actually did this, I put the text on there and I ordered it not even knowing if this would show up, because it didn't give me any sort of instruction to say that I could have something on the cover. Whereas they had the custom photo cover, and again, this is just a book of mine, this isn't one of their actual books. Custom photo cover made it sound like, okay, well, I'd like to have a custom cover. Whereas they didn't mention that you can have a custom cover for either of them. Very frustrating. But it was just lots of things like that. It's just like your best guess. The other thing I had is in the back here, have quite large photos. Here's one photo on the whole page, so it's very large. It would tell me it was excellent quality, but when I'm looking at it, it was very fuzzy and blurry. So I'm not going to pay $50, $60, $70, $80 for a photo book and have my nice big pictures be fuzzy. I was very confused by that. I actually called Costco and had to talk to the lady. She said, oh no, it'll still be clear in your book. Well, why couldn't they show it clear on the website, whereas they would show, like this one, which is almost as big, would be nice and clear, but this one would be really blurry, and it was just like my best guess. So I had to go with, well, Costco has quality products, they stand behind everything, they have good returns. I'll just trust that the lady said it'll be clear, and that the thing said it was excellent quality because it wasn't a cell phone picture or whatever, or Facebook, whatever. So it's just really confusing. It was not easy to use, it was confusing. I'm going to be making more, and I'm going to have to start from scratch with the learning curve because it just is not easy. So things I cannot comment about are text boxes, and clip art. I didn't want to use any of that. I just wanted plain pictures with white background, and so that's what I have. I didn't use any sort of commentary on anything. So I don't know how those compare. I'm sure it's text. How difficult can it be? But I didn't want to deal with that, so I don't know how those compare to each other. And then just to give you an idea, so this is my 12 by 12. My title is the font Frederica the Great, size 72, which I thought was a nice size in comparison. But then the spine, like you can barely see there's even words on the spine. It's almost be better just to have left that off because it's kind of silly to have this little dowel. But this is, I did Made in Orange, size 16. And you can see it just barely shows. And the other thing I wanted to tell you was this whole book I did for 32 pages. And this is how thin it is. I mean, I thought it would be thicker than this. It's not even half an inch. I'd say it's 3/8 inches thick for 32 pages, which is just 2 pages more than their minimum. So that's all I have for you. I've only done it once, but in conclusion, if you want to save a ton of money, continue going to Costco. If you want to enjoy the process and not have a lot of work, put in the extra money and go with Shutterfly because it'd be worth it. Thanks guys, hope you learned something.